Good morning, guys, and welcome to another episode of RoadFS Detail Memoirs, where we explore the movers, the shakers, the detailers, and anybody that's really trying to grow their business. That is who we highlight. So we're really excited. My name's Jody.
And I'm Rod. And today I want to highlight something that we missed last week. We get questions all the time, and sometimes I don't necessarily answer them. So one of the questions we got was, does it cost money to be on Detail Memoirs? The answer is no. The whole idea is to highlight you and your business and do good things for you and the detailing industry. We do not charge. Nobody pays us money for this. The second thing that was asked was, can anybody sponsor RoadFS Memoirs? We do have some people that sponsor us by giving us some products that we look at and some things like that, but we don't take money because we own this and we don't want somebody else to own it. So bottom line is, you don't have to put money out. If you want to give us products or t-shirts, we love it. We love pats on the back, and we love shout-outs to RoadFS.
Yeah,
That's what we like.
And we have something that we're working on regarding
Yes,
we're really excited
Oh my
about.
goodness. So we're going to be unveiling a brand new thing we're doing with a major player here, and I can't talk about it yet, but it's going to be huge. It's going to be a year long. People are going to have access to a bunch of freebies, and it's going to be fantastic. So pay attention, subscribe so you guys can pick up on all of the updates, and get ready because there's a bunch of freebies coming out the door.
Yeah, so we're super excited. And speaking of excited and a man with lots of energy, today's guest is Anthony Brown Jr., baby. Good morning.
Yes, sir. What's up?
What's up? So Anthony is the owner of Carter's Car Care. And if you're wondering, because I asked him the same question, I'm like, all right, your name's Anthony Brown. You run the detailer shirt line. How come your detailing business is Carter's Car Care?
Yeah, so I named it after my son. His name is Carter. So it's like his I just named it after him. Like that was my firstborn, that's my boy, that's the only boy I got. So it's Carter. So that's Carter's Car Care. And it just flowed well with car and care. So Carter's Car Care.
I love it.
That's awesome.
Plus, you're setting up the legacy to have him be your little helper.
Yeah, you see, I got it's me and him standing back to back with our hats on for the logo.
Nice. I love it. That's
Very
awesome.
Nice. Yeah.
So, how did you get into detailing?
Oh, believe it or not, my wife made me get into it because. At first I was doing mobile mechanic. I was a mechanic for 10 years for this company called Penske Truck Leasing. And so I was doing the mechanic work. So I had started doing the mobile mechanic work on the side just for me, because I like doing mechanic work. And then I always keep my cars clean. And my wife was like, why don't you go ahead on and add the cleaning side of it too? And so at first I was like, I'm not going to be out here watching nobody's cars. And so she was like, no, like you can do it's like a detailing thing. So I was like, I don't know. I don't think I'm with that. So leave me alone. So I started looking into it anyway. Found out it looked like it was pretty interesting. So I got into it and started doing, like how everybody else learn. They learn on YouTube. So I started watching all these YouTube videos and fell in love with it. And I was like, okay, yeah, this is fun. And it just started opening up doors. So when I come to find out, it was my passion. So I used to always keep my car clean and her car clean.
So let me ask you a question. As somebody else that's also was a mechanic for several years, I was a ASE certified mechanic. I did it all in a shop.
Yeah, me too.
Restored cars.
Me too.
So for everybody that has never done mechanic work, how do your hands and fingers feel detailing compared to doing mechanic work?
It feels kind of weird sometimes, but then again, sometimes it feels good because like I have a way of being able to use my mechanic work with my detailing work because sometimes I take the insides of the cars apart to get a better clean of it, like the door panels and stuff like that. I end up taking some of it apart, and it's easy to me. I take it apart, clean it, boom, put it back together, boom, and I'm good. And it's like it comes out better. But it's got its pros and its cons because sometimes being a mechanic for 10 years, like my bones kind of start aching after a while. It started taking a toll on my body. So it's like, being a detailer, that's also labor-intensive work too. People don't think that it is, but it actually is.
Oh, yeah.
So it takes a toll on my body, and I'm only 33 years old, so I'm already feeling it.
Oh, yeah, that's my
33. You look like you're 18.
My kids always ask me, how come
33.
my kids always go, how come that one finger bends funny like that, Dad? And I'm like, that's because that's work. That's mechanic work. And getting your finger.
Yeah. I got a pinky that's gonna stay like halfway kind of bent because I almost lost it.
Yeah.
I was working on a diesel truck, and the brake chamber from the diesel truck had popped back, and they spring loaded. It's like a real tight spring load on it, and it caught my pinky, and I almost cut my pinky out. So it's gonna forever stay bent.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh man, the thing that's really fun about you is, and it keeps coming to me, is at the Mobile Tech Expo, Detailpreneurs had a bowling party. And you and I were on the same team, and it was high energy. Let's get that strike, and it's like celebration every time.
Oh yeah, I stay on 10. People always say, do you drink Red Bull? You drink this? I'm like, nah, man, I'm just high for life, man. Like I should be dead in my grave, like. But like I said, me and Jody, we had a talk. We was out there, like I'm blessed, like God kept me from so much stuff. I should be dead in my grave, man. So in order to still be alive right now to this day and to be successful in where I'm at, have my family, have my wife, everybody, you know what I'm saying? It's a blessing. So I have no reason to be upset or run around here being down. Even though what's going on in the world today, man, I don't let that faze me, because me, myself, I'm blessed. So everything is going to happen for a reason. God has everything happening for a reason. I'm not stressing over what's going on in the world and the pandemic. God already knew it was going to happen, so I'm not worried about it. So I'm just going to be happy and stay me. That's the best thing to do. And it's in times like this, you gotta continue to still have that energy, because if not, you're gonna start falling into that world where it's just like, you're depressed, watching the news all the time. I'm not fit to do that. Nah. You can't take my joy away. I keep my joy. That's mine. Yes. Can't nobody take that.
My kids the other day, and my wife, I was telling Jody yesterday, we were on a different podcast, and my wife's like, you operate at like 220 volts and everybody else is like 110. And I was running around the house. I was, hooting and hollering. I was like, woo, dinner time. Come on. And I told my kids, you know what you ought to do? You need to make a cake, because somebody needs some chocolate cake after dinner. Yeah. And I was jumping, and my wife's like, I cannot stay on that same voltage level with you, man. You're way up there. I'm like, you have to be.
That sounds like my wife.
Yeah, you have to be. You've got to take it to that level. And that's the only thing that pulls me out when I get all down and depressed and I'm thinking about too much and I'm overanalyzing stuff. I just have to go and do something, off the wall. I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's a video game. I don't care if it's running around the backyard chasing a dog or having a water fight with the kids or something. But you just got to have to find something to pull you out of that, and not as a way to, ignore it or that it's not there. It's just, you cannot live in that. I can't do the news. I just cannot watch the news every day, because their job is to find bad stuff that intrigues you. And I'm like, I don't want to find about bad stuff. I want to find about good stuff. I want to find about Carter's car care and how he's doing it and how he keeps high energy. And I would rather do this and stay positive than get dragged down in that. So.
Right. Yeah, believe it or not, when I detail, it's like literally like my time away. It may sound crazy, but it's like my meditation. Like when I'm detailing, I'm on my own little world. I have my earphones in, and I'm just like, I'm isolated from everybody. And so it's like, that's my time to myself, and I have time to think. I have time to basically just meditate. And so I love it. Like I'm like away from the world. It's just me, my car, the canvas I'm working on, and I'm just doing my artwork. Hey, it's me. Boom. And then when I come back, it's a beautiful thing, and I'm like, yep, I did that. It's a self-gratifying thing. So I love it. And sometimes I got to step away from it too, though. Sometimes you got to know when to step away from detailing. You got to find time to kind of miss it. Because it's times where I keep going and keep going and keep going and keep going. And then I start drowning myself out, and I'm like, I'm kind of getting tired. And so I have to go like this past weekend, we went me and my family, I took my family out to the water park. And we just escaped from everything. I left my phone away. I don't need to do none of it. I don't want none of that. No business, just family time. I need to get away from it. And it makes me miss the detailing aspect of it. And so when I come back, I want to go even stronger. I'm like, ooh, okay, I'm good now. Let's go. What course we got? So it's just it's like prioritizing your time, so I love it.
Yeah.
That's great. So how have you, you're a one-man shop. You got your little van behind you that's all tricked out, looking sharp.
Yes, sir.
So how have you grown your business? What has been one of the key or a couple things that have been really helpful for you as you've, built your business?
How I've grown, believe it or not, I mean, well, you probably already know right now, it's a lot of my marketing is on Instagram. My Instagram is where I get all my clients from, all my work, everything from. That right there keeps me going. I got a lot of people that follow me on there. There's a lot of detailers that follow me on there. And when I get a lot of messages from other detailers, and they say, "Man, your energy is always on point. Like it's positive energy all the time. Keep doing what you're doing." And then the work that they see, they're like, "Man, how did you do that?" And this, that, and the other. So it's a lot. Believe it or not, it's a lot of detailers on Instagram that follow me. I get them a lot of tips. I get them but believe it or not, they always ask what products I use, and I always tell them like, you got some detailers that want to try to keep secrets. Like, oh no, I'm not gonna tell you what I use. It's like, no, it's not a secret because we all have to get money. We all want to win. So I tell them, hey, I use PNS products, and that's literally all I use. You can ask anybody. All I use is PNS products. They don't sponsor me or nothing, but all I use is PNS products because their products are the best. But I tell them or whatever, and they try to go get it, and they'll hit me back and say, man, my stuff is not the same. And I'm like, man, I don't know what to tell you. That's why I was like, I don't mind telling you what I use because either way it goes, sometimes you're still not going to be able to get the same kind of quality of product at the end. So, but a lot of, like I said, to grow how I do my business, a lot of marketing just on Instagram. I know because my personality itself is gonna attract you. So then once I grasp you with my personality, my work, I'm gonna show you my work. Once you see the work, that's gonna grab you too. So you done got caught on both ends. And so I'm gonna keep coming at your face with it. Boom, 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 every day. Boom, boom.
The
like,
double
what's
whammy.
you doing now? Oh, boom, I'm doing this. Boom, oh, and it's gonna every day. So it's not gonna leave you no choice but to be like, man, you know what? Let me support him. Let me get in. Let me see what he got going on. Let me call him. And when they call it, I come to them. Same kind of energy. It's every day, all day. It can't stop. Won't stop. Won't ever stop.
Yep.
So. Yeah.
So I want to go back just for a second to products. I think it's interesting. Sometimes you see a lot of people that will, like, let's say that you take the looks like a Ford van behind you.
Yep. Ford Econoline.
So you take a Ford Econoline with black paint, and you take, let's say, a cutting compound and a from PNS, a RoadFS polisher or a Flex polisher, and a certain brand of pad. That combination is going to be different than if you're looking at a GMC Sierra that's black and you're using the same combination. I think a lot of times detailers get confused and they're like, well, he told me he uses this wool pad with this compound on black paint, and it might be that you're using it on a Ford. It's a different paint. Chevy paint is so brittle you can walk up to and hit it with your fingernail and chip the paint. It's so brittle versus something like a Tesla, which is a totally different paint. And everybody's a little different, right?
Yeah. Everything is different. You literally have to find your combination. Like depending on whatever kind of car you're working on, you have to find your combination. And I try to tell people all the time. Like I had this one guy, he called me, and when he FaceTimed me, and was like, "Hey, I think I just messed up this lady's paint." And I was like, "Yo, what you do? Show me what you did." And he's never polished before. And I was like, "Well, first of all, you messed up because you should have started on a junkyard trash hood and practice on that before you did it." And then he started with a rotary polisher. I was like, oh no. So he came through, he's like, man, I got a whole lot of lines and stuff inside the paint. Like, I don't know what to do. And I said, man, let me see what you're talking about. And I already knew when he was talking about it, he said a whole bunch of lines. So he got buffing trails all over the paint. And it was a black car, BMW. I was like, wow. I said, you're gonna have to go and get you. I told him what he needed to go get, but I told him he gonna have to, like the different pads, I said, you're gonna have to try to find out what kind of pad is gonna get you the kind of result that you want on that paint. I can't help you because he was in Atlanta, but he just FaceTime us. So I'm like, man, I can't exactly kind of tell you like how the paint is because I'm not there to watch it react. But you're gonna have to figure out. I said, start with the least aggressive, and then work your way up to more aggressive. But he was able to figure it out. But it come to say that you just have to literally have to find out what works best for that paint, and you need to always get good practice in with a trash hood first. And then once you work on that trash hood and figure it out, then you do it on your own personal car. Then from the personal car, then you can kind of start working your way in with the client.
Right.
But I would never start with the client and be like, oh, just do this. No.
That's I had a guy who was doing some work on his Porsche, and he wanted to help. And so, I had a Flex 3401. And he's like, let me do some of that. And so I said, okay, here you go. And I gave him like the most unbelievably soft polish in the world and the littlest, I mean, just the foam pad, I mean, baby's butt soft pad. I was like, here you go. And don't push too hard, you know? I mean, I'm giving him the best possible result he can have so that A, that he felt successful at it, but B, that I didn't have to go back and fix it after he, you know, like, marred into the paint or something. And it worked out good. I mean, it looked good. He did some polishing. I showed him a little thing, you know, started small spots and go in a certain pattern and then wipe it off. And, you know, but not he didn't have any formal training, and I don't have a ton of training. I've done a lot of training with, you know, different people, but I've not, you know, done that for 20 years or anything. And it worked out good. But man, I think there's a lot of people that, like you said, watch YouTube. They see somebody that's really good with a polisher, and they're like, oh, I can do that. And they just grab, but don't think about the combinations of what polish you're using. Is there a lot of abrasives in that? Are you working with a paint that's thin? I mean, there's a lot of times I've done it myself where I just go out and I'm like, well, I don't have a paint gauge. I'm just going to polish this, you know, but it's on my stuff and just, you know, kind of hope for the best. So probably not.
That's kind of a dangerous thing too. Sometimes people they'll go polishing without a paint gauge to measure the, you know what I'm saying, the thickness of the paint or the clear coat. And honestly, I've honestly done it before too. I'm not going to even lie, but I just know that a lot of these newer model cars have enough clear coat on it for me to just do like at least a one step, you know what I'm saying, a little paint enhancement on it. I'm not gonna come in and try to do no wet sanding and this, that, and the other. Some people try to come in and they think they got to wet sand every car that they do, and I'm like, no. That's like, you're doing too much. Like, you know, just come in with the and believe it or not, I like to use the reflection artist, the blue pad, the Buff and Shine blueberry pad.
Yeah.
Oh man, I love it. I love that pad.
Yep, that's a lot of people's go-to pad because it's kind of an in-between. And if you're using kind of a medium polish or a compound that's not really highly abrasive, you can take out a lot of scratches, like typical scratches underneath the door handle where a lot of times people scratch. You can take that stuff out. You can get 90% of that stuff out. I've got a car of my own that was stored for a year under a blue tarp, which just imagine all the scratches. I mean, it's a mess, wind blowing everything. And I took probably 80% of the scratches out with just a blueberry and a mild compound and it got it to the point where it looks really good for 90% of the people. And because I don't know the thickness of the paint or anything like that, and I didn't want to go into heavy polish, and I wanted to see how much had come out, and it looks great. And you don't have to, every time you polish a car, you're removing some material, period. Period. You're removing material, and it's only got so much on it. So you better start small, like you said, and go with the least aggressive. And I think that's just common sense. In fact, I think that is a question on the IDA's certification exam, if I remember right, is you want to start with a test area and the least aggressive pad and polish.
Right. Exactly.
So let's talk about you. Not only are you a detailer, but you're also an entrepreneur creating a t-shirt line.
Yes, sir. The detailer. Yeah.
So
I have shirts, I have hats, I have Letterman jackets, I have shorts, I have warm-up pants, I have hoodies, and tank tops. Yeah.
You're like ready to deck out any detailer. That's awesome.
Oh yeah.
So how long?
I like fashion too.
How long have you been doing that?
I literally just started that this year. Well, you know what? I started it probably 2019. Yeah, but at that time, I was just kind of doing something for myself and just try to make it. It started off as, believe it or not, this may sound crazy. Believe it or not, I don't really like talking to people. The reason why is because sometimes people can ask you stupid questions and I just really don't like dealing with it. So in order for me to not have to talk to them, and then for me to not have to try to go out and try to promote myself, like, hey, who details the car, who does this, and the other, I figure I put it on the shirt. So now they got to come to me and say, oh, you detail cars. Or they see the detailer, oh, you're a detailer? Like, yeah, and it makes them start the conversation. And then I just get them a card. Hey, do you have a card? Boom, there goes my card, and that's it. So it was something literally just to grasp people's attention. So they can try to come to me and start a conversation. I don't have to go to them and try to promote myself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that's perfect because I think a lot of people underestimate the power of a brand, right? So you are doing everything you can with your van to brand Carter Car Care. You're branding yourself by wearing your own gear, and that carries throughout every aspect of your business. And your personality itself is its own brand.
Right.
I mean, you can be stiff and boring like this guy, or you can be suave, debonair, and awesome like me.
Wow.
No, I love, like I said, I love clothes. And then I also once I started doing it for myself, I started realizing that people was liking it, and then people was like, man, I want to wear it. I'm not even a detailer, and I started thinking about it. I was like, well, it doesn't really just have to be for a detailer. It could be for whatever it is that you do. Like, you have to be detailed in every part of life. Like, even if you was a barber, you have to be detailed at cutting people's hair. If you were a fitness coach, you have to be detailed at how you train your people who you're training. You got to be detailed at everything. If you're a bodybuilder, you have to be trained at the right getting to whichever muscle that you're trying to get to and build. You have to be detailed in everything you do. So everything in life is a detail. Like, you have to be detailed about it. Even when God created the earth, I don't know. I'm not trying to get too spiritual. I don't know if it's the platform for it, but even when God created the earth, He created man and woman. He was detailed when He created it. So everything is, you know what I'm saying, it's detailed. I'm just a detailer, so I just put the buffer on there. But I tell people all the time, you don't have to be a detailer to wear the detailer. You know what I'm saying? You can be you're detailed in every part of life. Whatever your job is, you have to be detailed in it to be good at it. So it's just, you know, it's kind of different perspectives from it.
Yeah, that's awesome. That is awesome.
I love that, because I think a lot of times people, I mean, especially me, it's like I see the big picture, and you know, when you can get down into the details and really fine tune the details, you can really experience some major growth. But I think a lot of times we like to wipe over the details instead of focusing on them.
Right. Yeah.
So what are a couple key things that have helped you as you've launched your own business and grown it that you think will be beneficial to other detailers or business owners for that matter?
I think some of the key things I would say is to, first of all, I think the big thing for me was to find out who I was. You have to find out who you are as a person and find out what your goal is, what your vision is for whatever it is that you're trying to build. And once you find out who that is, once you find out what that is, you work towards it, and you make different adjustments to whatever it is that you're trying to do. You try different things and see if it works. You say, if that don't work, you know, you go somewhere else, shit, this right here, that don't work. You just kind of fine tune it. You just find that nice happy medium, and then once you see what works for you, you know what I'm saying, you go with it. That's where you drill it. You boom, 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 boom. Like, I found out literally what works for me. I found out that it was the Instagram. I found out it was my personality, that people like the personality. And once I found that out, that's what helped me grow. I started, boom, boom, boom. I stayed in their face, boom, boom, boom. Because then after I found out that's what the people like, that's what's going to help me grow. That's what's going to help my business grow. That's what's going to help me make money, because I found out what worked for me. I found out what the people like. So supply and demand, that's what the people want. That's what the people get. So you just have to find out what it is that works for you, what it is you're trying to do, and then that's what you work towards. So that's what I feel.
I love it.
Yeah, absolutely. So, couple of things is let's let people know how to get a hold of you, where to find you. Obviously, I see the phone number on the van, Carter's Car Care, 469-503-2977. How else do they find you? What's your handle on, or your name on Instagram and all the other social media?
On Instagram, you got Carter's Car Care. That's the mobile detailing page. It's Carter's_car_care. For the detailer clothing brand, is the_detailer life. the_detailer_life. Then you can also find me on YouTube. My channel is The Detailer Life. I'm trying to build that right there. I'm trying to make that right there another. That right there is gonna be another revenue of money coming in, because everyone wants to see, you know what I'm saying, the day in the life, or like what kind of stuff that I do. It's that and other. Some of the people that I detail for a lot of high-end clients. People would like to see, you know what I'm saying, how that goes. So I got a lot of different platforms. I got a lot of different things coming up on that page too. I got a whole other series that's gonna be coming up. It's gonna be called I Can't Tell You Yet. And I Can't Tell You Yet.
Wow, that's an original name. I Can't Tell You Yet.
Yeah, I can't tell you yet because I don't want everyone to know about it yet. So it's going to be called I Can't Tell You Yet.
That's right.
Stay tuned for that. So once I drop, you'll know what it is. But make sure you stay tuned on the Detail of Life. I try to drop videos every week about, it's going to be either about mechanic work, it's going to be about detailing work, it's going to be about family. I just got different videos. I do so much stuff. I'm literally everywhere. Like once I get done with this video, I got more detailing work I have to go do. So I'm recording everything. Like I'm literally recording myself right now on this podcast.
And that's great. And the problem is we have a conflict of titles. So Rod said we're running I Can't Tell You Yet promo, and you're running I Can't Tell You Yet YouTube channel.
That's right.
So how are we gonna roll the dice to see who wins?
Just look for at I Can't Tell You Yet, and you'll see us or him. And
actually, maybe it's a collaboration, and we didn't know it yet.
Yeah, that's right. Maybe we're doing the same thing.
Yeah, somebody's going to end up using that. They're going to be like, man, that's a good idea. I like how that sounds. I can't tell you. Somebody's going to use that idea. Why?
Awesome. Hey, well, thank you so much for joining us. I mean, we always love our visits with you. So
I appreciate it. I appreciate y'all for having me on, man. I appreciate it. I really do.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much. I hope you have a fantastic day. And the rest of you guys that are tuning in, thank you for joining us. Make sure to tune in every week. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. We'll also be posting this on IGTV and the podcast because we're trying to make it where, it's easy, it's accessible, and it's something that will help you grow your business. So thank you so much, Anthony. And we will check you next week. So.
Okay. See you guys later.
All right.
Thank you.
See ya.